Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Hugh. So we went through this entire mountain area really quickly. We already have all 5 flasks and no, I do not want to do that. It seems like we're probably completely done and just going to go to the university, which we may get done really quickly too. I guess because they can't really give us any more like levels or any more colors or abilities, there's just less reason to try and drag the gameplay out. So we've been seeing these birds. Now we see what would be there we got another lag. I guess hedges carved into the ways of different animals, all black and white. What is it called? Topiaries? Is that maybe the word? And then we have one of these ancient characters that's been following this the whole time and looking at us. Maybe that has been Dr. Gray the whole time. Although if Dr. Gray is going to prove himself to be an actual bad guy, we should have seen him do something earlier. Like, all of this, the only antagonist in this game so far has just been Mother Nature, rocks and falls and spikes. And yeah, I guess it might be slightly different here if we're actually inside the building. You can see instead of seeing rocks, we're seeing books on the edges. It feel like there's a door up there, but I don't know how you get up to that section. Unless we get some kind of double jump. And here we have some kind of technology, and we have tassels that we can jump around and bump, but that's about it. Oh, hey you. You're not supposed to be here. The university is closed. The pipes have burst, and there's slime everywhere. Best be on your way. I won't say it again. The university is closed. Away with you. So, instead of lasers now, we have slime. Is there a different effect to slime? Seems like there is. So, I guess the move there probably would have been that it was blue to begin with, or it could have been blue, and if you had made it blue, then you wouldn't have been able to go through the bricks and the wall that comes up and down. Here's a message from our mother.
Being back at the university has surfaced many memories, Hugh. I remember taking you to lectures. You would crawl to the front of the hall when I wasn't paying attention. Dr. Gray would look down from his lectern, and all his seriousness and authority would wash away. He would pick you up, walk over, and return you to my arms with a smile. Love cannot be measured, Hugh. Like colour, it exists inside of us. I buried it. I buried the love that I had for my own ends. I hope after all this, you will see my mistakes for what they are. Yours lovingly, Mum.
See, it feels like that was supposed to be a big surprise, but it's not that big of a surprise with the other stories. It feels like all these notes were written like months, if not weeks apart, or by different people, and it's just not a consistent narrative, and they didn't just read all the notes together. They really should have said at the beginning that it should have just said, my lovely child Hugh, should have been the first 3 words in the first note we ever got, so we knew who Hugh is and what part he played here. In a similar way, we're being implied that Dr. Gray is actually your father, and it's being implied that either your mother fell out of love with him, being obsessed with her work, or Dr. Gray literally died and she buried him. So in a weird way, this might be one of those games that they would have tried to sell, saying that this is an allegory to depression, except for the fact that it would be a very poor allegory to depression. Just a world without color, sure, on surface level that makes sense, but Hugh being fully enabled and wanting to do all the platforming in this game, that's really not a depressed character per se. Here we see Newton, which I assume is supposed to be a reference to Isaac Newton, which would make me think changing this to red would make some sense for the apple myth. Now, when I hit the walls here, there's a little visual glitch that seems to happen, but I don't think that's actually anything. I think it's just a visual glitch. It might have strengthened the story if Dr. Gray was your father and he was dead, and then that is why the mother fell into an obsession around her work. But it really doesn't change the outcomes. We could go like blue or sky blue. It's interesting, when you go this light blue, it just covers the entire world like that, but in the other colors, the windows are still viewable. And this is way too much platforming for there to be nothing there. Okay. So go to red. Walking through the goo works. Okay. Red here. Then I guess you go blue here. So what are we trying to really pull off here? Okay. So that gets that to that spot. And then paints that out. Almost missed a collectible here. I thought I had walked against that wall. I'm kind of glad we're close to the end in this game. Yeah, this game definitely feels like it's being short and sweet. I do have slight problems with kind of its artistic style and its the polish on its puzzles, but overall I think this has been a pretty good experience, and it doesn't feel like a game that I'm just going to bang my head against the wall to get the remaining few what would they be? The remaining few flasks. All I really have to do is be thorough enough to find the 3 remaining here, and then it'll just be running through the previous sections. And running through the previous sections actually is gonna be weird anyways, because it's not really a case where I don't know how we're supposed to do this. Okay. I don't think you can really screw up too much here. What must have to happen is that you must have to get rid of the goo spilling. So you can come and put the blue there, like that. Then you've got to move it to a 3rd color, which I think this probably highlights how a lot of these puzzles are not really forcing you to cycle between all the colors. This is a very British game. You saw that in the name Mum. They have now a statue here for Churchill, which I would assume is Winston Churchill, who isn't really a scientist, as to my understanding he was a soldier and didn't look anything like this, so maybe there is a different Churchill, or no, that doesn't say Churchill, does it? It says Chevrel. Seville. I have no idea who that is. But he's holding what looks like an aperture. Very similar to, somewhat similar to what we have here. I would have to suspect that science would have been severely limited in a world that was only 2-dimensional and black and white. Although, then it might be easier to understand the ins and outs of a universe built in such a way. It might just be super simple. Okay. So almost certainly this is something we want to work backwards to. So from the looks of it, seems like all you would need to do is maybe just grab this. Nope, we need that to stay there. And so we need that to be not... We need it to be red. It's just how that's going to play. Unless it was a case where going to yellow here would bring the door up faster than the laser hitting me. Going to red will make the laser go away, but then I still can't go through the laser. And yeah, the laser is faster than the door. That's what I thought. Right. So the move here is to just do that. And I've got to be kind of careful not to get in front of the box, too. Close enough there. You can just make slight adjustments. See if there's any secret collectibles. We're just gonna jump from a ladder, and that'll make the box fall downward. We'll go over here and check for secret collectibles again. And yeah, I don't think there's anything really special going on otherwise here. We could have just jumped at that point, even if we weren't standing on the box. Okay, standing on this opens that one, standing on that one opens that one. We see over here is a door that is locked. We see over here a key. So, and this is a smaller room, so it doesn't seem to me like there's a possibility of something going really terrible. So, I think the move here is that the blue doesn't matter and the green doesn't matter on the crates. I think the move is to simply do that. Put to that there. Then do that. And okay. Then we're going to do that. I guess we can just accomplish that that way. Okay. Maybe the red and the blue are right, however. Because if I went red, then the red would be completely gone, and then I would only have to deal with the blue. How am I supposed to get up here at all? I'm not 100% sold on the idea that we need this here. I do feel like we need to swap the two. Is there a way to actually bring that about? Not as far as I can tell, so if that's the case, then let's just stand here and paint this and hope that this is correct. Because now it's going to be this toggling action. I guess the question is, should we be? Should we be doing something? Like, not fully understanding how I'm supposed to get upward. I can stand on this platform, sure. But without this being blue, I can't go through the laser. Well, I'll just die. If I turn this to purple, that does nothing for us. So my thought is that there is a actual loss, a way to lose here that I found. Seems like we may just have to go back and forth a bunch here. Okay. There's seemingly no way to color the balloons. And if you go red, from this spot, if I go blue to protect myself from that, that doesn't work. From this spot, if I go red, protect myself, that doesn't work either. Is there possibly some way you're supposed to bounce into the edge of these? Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. It definitely feels like a move. Something along that lines. And yeah. Interesting that the balloons themselves are in the way now, blocking the laser. Could that be helpful? be helpful if the box wasn't red on the right. Or if there's just supposedly supposed to be some kind of physics thing. So I think we're gonna have to start over again. Yeah. So I think the move is to not color either one of these. And then guess we should do this. So that blocks that. And then that gets me to this spot. And so we jump, we get that. Okay. And then how do we swap anything? Yeah, because I'm standing in this box, I now would need the laser to actually be going through that spot. So we can't just stop the lasers. This is another one of these small rooms that's way more complicated than it would seem at first glance. So this has to be colored differently. This already is colored differently. Let's play around with this a little bit and see if we can space everything out pretty well. What happened there? We didn't color that differently yet. See if maybe I could jump and have these all in kind of nice positions. Okay. And then jump and switch to purple, and we've got the key, and here's another flask to collect. I wonder if this picture here is supposed to be of the mother. Okay. If we go like that, we can't escape. So we have to go here. And then we have to jump and change to red. Okay. Now, it's only a matter of taking this to the next step, which is to turn this to light blue, jump and switch to purple, and there we go. Let's just see what the next section is, but I'm not going to do it. It's just a room full of trophies and awards to knock over. And it's always been weird that you can just kind of knock things into the walls. There's way too much of this, just little toys to play with, little physics to play with it not playing any real role in any gameplay mechanic. there's really nothing you can do here. Alright, let's look at the map. So, we've gone another 30 minutes. We've gotten 3 out of 5 flasks. I suspect we will be at the end of the game in the next episode. On that, though, I'm not really expecting any big twist. It is a simple enough story that it feels like the observers who's been watching us, whether that's been one person we've seen multiple times or whether it's been multiple people of the same culture, ancient race, whatever, they've got to play a role, and then Dr. Gray's being mentioned, so they have to play a role. So it would make a lot of sense if the observer was Dr. Gray. Otherwise, we're going to see just the observers. I would assume maybe just do some kind of ritual that brings your mother back, and that would be the end of the story, and Dr. Gray would not even show up as a character. We're pretty obviously not going to have a boss fight. It would be interesting, certainly, if we ran into another character that could change the colors of the world and manipulate things. Say, change the color of a platform that you are standing on to make you fall, and so then you would have to have a boss fight to change the platform, the color of the background to match the platform Dr. Gray was standing on, and then you could outthink and outmaneuver Dr. Gray in some kind of final boss fight, but it would just feel very weird for this game to have any boss fight. If anything, we're just going to have maybe one more collection of puzzles that are somewhat difficult, or one specific difficult puzzle. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, and keep on watching. Thanks.